In this video, we're going to take a look at creating some design options for our admin suite here that we're going to lay out. Well, I've taken the time to just kind of lay out two designs, our primary, and we'll call this our alternative admin suite that we just want to lay in here and organize properly here in Revit using our design options set. So let's kind of get started with that. The first thing I want to do is I'm going to take this initial layout that we've created that just has a couple cubicles and I'm just going to move this down into the plan just so that we have it in here. And because we're going to focus on design options, I want us to know exactly how you begin to lay those out. So the first thing we want to do is we're just going to come down here. You'll see down on our menu we'll have our design options button. And I just want us to come down here and click that. And you'll see right now everything we've been doing to this point, we're editing using strictly our main model option, which is by default the only one that's in here. But we're going to go ahead and add a new option. Here's where we would begin to add our options set. So, there's three categories here between the edit, the options set, and our options, which we will come back later to determine which one's primary and so forth. So let's just create a new option. And you'll see now that we have a new option, I can actually click right here to rename that option. And we can name this admin option set. And I'll just click OK for that. And then option 1, we'll say cubicles. We'll rename that as well. Cubicle with meeting table layout. And I'm just going to click OK so that becomes meaningful. And by default, this is our primary, so it will show up as a part of our main model. Okay, and then we're going to just go ahead and we're going to create one more since we know we're going to need that anyway. Let's just go create another option. We already have the set. The set that we created is our admin option set. So let's just go ahead and create one more new option. And I'll rename that as well. And we'll just say that this is more of a lounge admin space layout. And I'll just click OK for that. Now we have these both named. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click close now that we've set these options up. So I'm going to select this furniture right here. And right now you'll see by default it's in the main model category. Let's go ahead right here and we're going to click add to set. What set do we want to add it to? Since this is our cubicle and meeting table, let's uncheck the lounge option and we're going to add it just to this one. If we had multiple options, they would show up on this drop down, and we would just want to make sure that we check exactly what option that we want to add it into here. I'm going to click OK for that. Now you'll see when I come down and change my drop down, and I'll just change this to cubicle with meeting room, you'll see everything else in our plan becomes grayed out. Well, now we're seeing just that admin option that we designated to be this cubicle with meeting table admin option. So I'll go back to main model again. And from main model, the next thing I actually want to do is I'm actually going to come up here and I'm going to drag down that option 2. And I'm actually just going to lay it right outside the plan. I want to make sure that we go ahead and let's add this option. Now that we have it all selected, what you want to do first, we'll come in, click add to set for this, and we're going to add this just to the lounge admin space layout. And I'm going to click OK for that. And you'll see now that that disappears, now that we've added it to the other design option set, it actually disappears now that we're in main model. That's an alternative design option, and it only will show up once you come down here and change this to the appropriate design option set for it to remain visible. Now that we have that alternative design option set visible, I can highlight all of this and drag it into the plan here. and do whatever I would need to do here to lay out that second design option. So I'll click back to cubicle, and you can see now we can see the primary design option, and that primary design option will show up when we're in main model. How do I know that it is not a part of the main model, although it appears here? Is you'll see that now that I'm in my main model, I actually do not have the ability to edit this option. Although it's the primary and it shows up visibly, I'm not able to edit it here. So you won't make the mistake of editing that as a part of your main model. You'll realize that this is one of the areas that you do have design options already established in the project for. The last thing I want us to do is to just go ahead and set up a partial plan where we can show that second option, realizing that many times when you lay out your plans, we'll create a partial plan that might show that alternative secondary layout. So we're actually going to start from our level 1 plan, and let's just go ahead and duplicate this view. And I'm going to rename this just so that it makes sense for us. Going to leave it level 1, but we're going to change this to level 1 admin option 2. And I'm just going to put partial so that I know we're going to crop this down to be a partial plan as well. Click OK. Now in this partial plan, the next thing that we're going to do is come down here and make sure that we crop this plan, since we've already said it's going to be a partial. So remember, we're going to come to crop region visible. I'm going to zoom out some just so that I see the border of this, and we're just going to crop this in on the admin just because we were going to want to show just that admin suite for this partial plan so that you can see the option 2. Going to crop in around this, and you'll see it's still showing that primary option. The last thing we want to do is make sure we come down here to our visibility and graphics. So let's go back up on this properties menu to our visibility and graphics override. I'm going to click on that. You'll see once you establish design options, now we'll have a design options tab up here. I'm just going to come in here, and by default it's set to automatic, which is going to still display that primary, but I'm going to click on this drop down, and you'll see I can change this to lounge admin space layout, which was our layout 2, and I'll just click apply for that. You'll see that change take effect. We'll click OK, and now we have a partial plan for this option 2 that we can drag on the sheet next to this level 1 floor plan that shows the entire floor level with option 1. So we have our option 1 and we have our option 2 partial plan. I hope this video has been helpful for you.